Hey there, and welcome back to the craft room. This is our second craft along card for my 2023 mini catalogue launch party. Second, I don't know whether we'll do it second or we'll do it first. It's up to you, the guys that do it live. But anyway, this is the other craft along card. I thought it was a nice contrast from the other craft along card that we're doing on the day. It's sort of bright and cheery and a bit funky. Whereas the other one was very classical and quite, almost conventional in its style. This one's a little bit brighter. Okay, so we're going to use this time the Merriest Trees stamp set and dies. And we're also going to use, as we did with the first card, the Snowflake Sky embossing folder as well. Now, if you're doing this workshop live, then you will have this panel here that's got the tree cut out of it and the snowflakes on it. You will have that panel already cut and embossed. But I thought with this video, I'll show you the process of creating that panel, just if you want to create it yourself later on. Okay, so you have, now I'll go through everything we have. You need a card base. So this is also in Night of Navy, just a standard colour sized card base for me, 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. Metric measurements in the PDF, so if you want them, go there. An inside layer, which is of basic white, and that is 1/4 inch smaller, so that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. So we might pop that in now just to get it out of the way so I don't get confused, which I often do. And there we are. So we'll come back and we can stamp something on the inside second after we finish the outside. Just get that panel out of the way. You will also then have a piece of basic white for the outside, and this is the one that we're going to emboss and die cut, or die cut and emboss if you want to be in order. You also have another piece of basic white, which we'll use in a moment. You'll see what we're going to use that for. You will also need to cut, and this comes from your kit, you will need to cut strips of the designer series paper. And I didn't grab, where is it? Where is it? This one is the Merry, Bold and Bright designer series paper. So this is in your kit. Lots of lovely stripes and circles and everything. Beautiful bright colour paper that I'm sure you'll get use of even once Christmas is over. So you've got strips of that. So these strips are 1/2 inch wide, and I've cut them to 6 inches long, only because that's what was easier. And it'll be easier for you too, because they'll be in 6 inch pieces in your kit. So we need 1/2 inch wide. So I think that's 1.3 centimetres, something like that, 1/2 inch. And we're going to cut strips. So I think you need 7 or 8 strips. And we're going to use both sides. So, yeah, so if you can take 4 pieces of paper that you like both sides of, then we can use the front and the back. There we are. So we've got, I think I've got 8 there. We might not need them all, but there we are. So strips, that's going to create the background for our Christmas tree. And pop those aside. So if you've prepared those, pop those aside. So let's prepare this particular panel first. Now, you're going to have to start with the dies and find the appropriate sized Christmas tree. Now, this is an awesome set of dies. Really, really is. You have the one stamp for the one Christmas tree. Here's the tree. You notice this tree has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers, I suppose, or levels. So it's a 1 to 5 level Christmas tree. You have a die that cuts out each of those, well, not each of those levels, but gives you a tree that can be any of those levels tall, if that makes sense. I'll pop them together and you'll see. So if you wanted the whole 5 level tree, you use the biggest die. If you wanted just one that was only 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, you use this one, which is the next size down. If you want your 3 level tree, so getting sort of tiny now, you use that one. 2, so if you want to go really, really tiny, you use that one. And if you're just highlighting the top of the tree, you use that one there. I won't bother getting it off because the glue is really strong. Okay, so you can cut that tree into all of its components, I suppose, is what the view is. And I haven't tried it yet, but I can imagine it would be awesome if you cut all of them and layered it up so that the tree had some real dimension to it. So watch for a video that does that soon, one day soon. But there you are. So that's the dies. Then you've also got this one, which is really cool as well, and that just gives you various lengths of tinsel that you can decorate your tree. We've got baubles, we've got stars, we've got other stars. We've got this little basket here. I think that is, I haven't used it yet. I think that is supposed to be the basket that the tree sits in. So a nice big basket there. The squares and rectangles are for presents. So you've got present stamps you can use as well. Yeah, the perfect set for lots and lots of variations of Christmas trees. So yeah, hopefully you like that one. We, for this card, are going to use the second from largest tree, so the 4 layered tree, to cut our tree for our card. Anyway, great set, great bundle if you like making Christmas tree cards. And they're good because here in Australia we don't have snow, we don't have snowflakes, we don't have that sort of thing as a rule, even though we do adopt a lot of those in our traditions. But Christmas trees, most people have a Christmas tree. So first of all, we're going to cut that tree out of this piece of cardstock. My plate, cutting plate. Actually, I'm not going to use that one, I'm going to use the other one. So we're going to take our Christmas tree, so you can see would be good, more towards the top of the layer than the bottom, because we want to put our sentiment at the bottom. So you need to leave room down there. So don't put your tree halfway on the layer, take it up to the top a wee bit. So make sure it's in the centre-ish. So I think I've probably got that tree half an inch, maybe a bit more, 3/4 of an inch from the top of the sheet. So leaving lots of room at the bottom for our sentiment. And this one, you don't need the tree itself. You can use that for something else, I'm sure. We'll find something to use it for this time of year. So we'll just pop that aside. Okay, so that's our Christmas tree cut. Now, if I was doing this card just for me, I would then stamp my sentiment. Okay, so I would stamp my sentiment first and then emboss. But we don't have that luxury for the kits that I've sent out because I've had to emboss it for you. So I'm being careful. When the kits that I've sent you, I've been very careful to put the denser part of the snowflakes at the top and the less dense part with the snowflakes at the bottom, so you can get a nice clean stamp of your sentiment. If you were trying to stamp a sentiment on that stuff at the top, you'd have absolutely no hope. But hopefully it's clear enough and flat enough that you'll get a good stamp at the bottom. But I will do the same thing here just to prove, put my money where my mouth is. I'll get rid of those plates. Bring back the embossing folder. So as I say, we want the less hectic part of the snowflake at the bottom. So that's there. So I need a nice clear patch so I can pop my sentiment somewhere. That will do there. Sort of straight. Yep, so I'm going to pop that through the machine like that so it's nice and clear of snowflakes at the bottom. As I said though, if I was making this card for me, I would have stamped the sentiment in between these two Septs so that it was already there. I didn't have to worry. Okay, so there is our embossed and die cut front panel. There we go. So that's what you've got in your kits if you're doing this live along with me today. Okay, so what we need now, we bring in that extra mystery piece of white cardstock that you have and our strips. What we're going to do is layer up these strips onto this piece of cardstock. If you're confident, you could put them first straight onto the blue card base. Now to do that, what you would do is pop your card front on, just do a little mark with a pencil at the extreme ends of the tree, so either side and the top and the bottom. And then you could take that away and you'd see there where your tree is or should be, and you can use your layers to layer up like that. Okay, that's if you're confident. A lot of people don't like going straight onto your card base because if you muck up, you've mucked up and you've wasted a card base. That's why I've given you this piece of cardstock. So grab that piece of cardstock, pop some double-sided tape or some snail around the edge, or glue, totally up to you. I would make a terrible mess if I used glue for this, but you know, there's lots of people out there that are a lot more masterful when it comes to glue usage, not big slobs like me. And then we're going to lay, this is like the Scrappy strip technique. We're going to layer them on there. So it's exactly like that. We've created a Scrappy strip background. Here we are. So let's start layering up our pieces. So you need to cover, if I bring my tree in, you need to cover the whole inside of that tree. So you can see there, you need to go all the way from the top to the bottom. Strips for another card, I'm going to just layer them up hard up on one edge so I can use the rest next time. So whatever order you want your little strips, just go for it. Just layer them up. If you have some favourites, put them towards the middle because they're going to get more attention. If you've got some less than favourites, pop them to the top or the bottom. You won't see them as much. Okay, nearly there. I've actually got one too many. That's okay. I can trim that off. Actually, no need to trim it off because it'll be hidden anyway. So I am going to trim off these. And as I say, I'm going to come back later when I do the next one. Live with you on the day, I'm going to come back and use that second half of the pieces of cards, of pieces of designer series paper. Just trim that off, clear straight with your edge, keep those for the next card, and there you have your background. So what we need to do is work out where on our card base you need your background to sit. So sort of just roughly work it out. Obviously it's got to be the same sort of distance from the top as our Christmas tree. So let's bring our Christmas tree in and see. Yep, that's pretty good. So you can see that is covered from top to bottom. I'm just going to glue that on. There we are. Just check that before it dries too fast. That's pretty good. Now you could just glue that cover onto there now. Just use your glue, just glue it straight on top. but I'm going to pop it on some dimensionals just to give it a bit of dimension, a bit of 3D effect happening. Now you will need a fair few dimensionals, so I hope you've got a nice fresh pack ready to go, because as I've mentioned before, when we've done this sort of design, you're not just supporting the outside of your card, you also need to support the cutout so that it doesn't sag. Far more dimensionals than I'd ever use on a normal card. You guys know me, I'm not big in dimensional usage, but in this case I'll make an exception. There we are. Pretty much entirely supported. So let's get rid of the millions of little backings. Don't have to worry about capturing a ribbon in this, so it's good. I can plough on. I think this is the reason I don't like using a lot of dimensionals, because I find it really tedious pulling the backs off and trying to vacuum them up later, because they avoid the vacuum cleaner. I don't know why, because they're little and light and slippery little suckers. Okay, so let's bring up, oh, Julianne, I forgot to do my sentiment, didn't I? So let's just make sure. Rewind. I always knew I was going to forget something. Before you put the dimensionals on, stamp your sentiment. Now I'm hoping that I can get away with that. If I remove that dimensional there, I should have a nice flat surface. Trouble is it's going to stick to the table, but I'll live with that. Okay, so without the dimensionals on the back, you should stamp your sentiment. I'm going to use "Hoping your home is filled with the spirit of the season." And I'm going to pry this off the table, hopefully, to pop it on the card. Using my Night of Navy ink again. And as I say, we've got this at the sort of the lighter snowflake end. So hopefully you can get it to stamp, which I have. It's stamped okay. Okay. And I lost one dimensional. Okay. So there you are. That's the sentiment on there. Now I'll replace the dimensionals that I lost and removed. At this point, you should be putting your dimensionals on. Someone said to me once they like my videos because I make mistakes and I'm natural. I don't know, sometimes I wish I was a little bit less prone to making mistakes and less natural. But anyway, I am what I am. Okay, so let's pop all that on top of our card base, like that. Okay, isn't that cute? I love the funky colours. I just love this designer series paper. I think I'm going to use it all year round. Some of those stripes and dots are just amazing colours. Okay, last couple of things with this card. We're going to use the ribbon. So again, grab your blue ribbon. Wherever I've popped it. Here we go. So you have a choice here, and I know the choice that I made, but it's entirely up to you what you guys decide to do. You can use the ribbon full width, and I will tie a bow and show you. That's how much I love you, that I'm going to tie a bow in public. At least try to. And I know I do have a bow tire, a rig, but it's very embarrassing because I forget which way the ribbon's supposed to go around it. So sometimes it's just easier to fumble with the ribbon than try and get the bow rig out. That one hasn't worked out too bad. So full width ribbon on the top like that. that's your first choice. To me, that's a bit much. I mean, obviously that's a huge ribbon, a huge bow that I've made. Like, you'd go a smaller bow, of course. Go a smaller bow, of course, she said. But I liked it. I'll just start again. Cut in half. Now, this cutting the ribbon in half technique is a favourite of my friend Jan. And I, to be honest, never would have thought of doing it in a million years. So Jan and I did a stamp camp together recently, and she did several cards where she cut the ribbon in half. So you still get this glorious blue sparkly ribbon, but it's more delicate for a smaller bow. And I've cut myself a lot of ribbon there. Probably didn't need that much, but anyway. So just cut it in half. This particular one won't fray too badly. I wouldn't sort of go around handling it too much. Once you've got it cut and bowed, probably leave it at that. Don't tempt it to fray. Again, tie the bow. Ay, ay, ay. And as you can see, you've got a lovely blue bow, but it's not the full 1/2 inch thick bow. Doesn't have to be a huge bow because we don't want to take too much attention away from our pretty Christmas tree. There we are. And that sits on top like that. And as I say, it's a lot more delicate. It's not as bulky and thick, and it doesn't cover too much stuff over, which is good. So up there, that's my preferred approach with this ribbon. So I'm going to grab some glue dots. Onto my bow. And on the top there. There we are. Okay, so that is our Christmas tree. Obviously needs some bling. That ribbon sheds a bit of glitter when you're doing it. We need some bling, so we'll go back to our bling pack that you got with your kit. You could do the trick that we did with the other card and use the clear ones and colour them to the colour. Pick one colour out of there, maybe the Night of Navy from the card base or one of the beautiful reds from the paper. I'm actually just going to use these blue-green ones because I think there's a couple of bluey-green highlights in the paper, so we'll just use I'm going to use the blue-green ones, which I'm assuming are something like a pool party or something. There we are. Okay, and there is card number 2. You can obviously stamp something on the inside if you want. And hopefully you enjoy that one as well. I love that colourful background there with those strips. Pretty funky way of doing it if you wanted to be a little bit more adventurous is actually put those pieces of cardstock on a slight angle so they travel sort of that direction in the tree. That sort of adds a little bit of interest to it as well. I thought I'd stick to the straight just this time, just didn't want to confuse issues. Okay, so there is card, or our other craft along card. Hopefully you've enjoyed doing that one as well. If you've just got the PDF and you're making these along with your own stash, I hope I've explained those well. As I said, measurements, metric measurements and imperial measurements in the PDF if you'd like to go back and check those. Okay, that's the next card done, and I'll go have a clean up and we'll come back with the rest of the day.